Keep it steady.
I've been waiting a long time for a new Splinter Cell game, but instead Ubisoft and Massive Entertainment gave us The Division. Now that the sequel is looming around the corner, I wanted to take a look back and see if The Division is still any good and whether or not it's worth pre-ordering Division 2. Yes, The Division. What more needs to be said about this game? Literally, there are two types of people out in this world. People who love The Division and people who do not love The Division. I fall into the former category. I absolutely adored The Division. It was fantastic in a gaming sense. I love the fact that it was kind of an MMO slash SOCOM type shooter with co-op elements, deathmatch, and instances ripped right out of the World of Warcraft playbook. Yes, you heard me right, the World of Warcraft playbook. Division took the best properties of Diablo or World of Warcraft, really Blizzard games, but any RPG really, and they gave your character purpose, leveling up, collecting gear that changed their appearance, your abilities. Every character could theoretically play a little bit different, and that really helped during these missions. But outside of them, you had a huge map of a chunk of New York with dozens and dozens and dozens of quests sprinkled out, all to help boost your character a bit and give you something to do. It really was an orgy of open world ideas, and I could see why some people did not like The Division. At times, there was too much to do, and at other times, there was nothing to do. Indeed, The Division was a game you could come on for 10 minutes and do a few things and maybe boost up your character a bit, or you could play for hours and hours on end and explore everywhere to no avail, because there wasn't much to explore. There was a lot of the same, and in a big open world, that can hurt final product. I have high hopes for Division 2, and that really begs the question, is Division 2 worth pre-ordering? And I'm gonna give a big fat no. Nope, no sirree Bob, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't believe in pre-ordering. I'm just gonna walk into the store and buy Division 2 on the first week of sales, and that's how a proper adult should buy anything, when they feel like it. So I'm definitely getting the Division 2 at launch, within the launch window. But here's a couple of items I need to say out loud, or else Ubisoft will be hated forever. First of all, the Division, in my opinion, was way better than Destiny, because The Division did not confuse the DLC. The DLC was easy. I know Destiny does the same, but now it's like you don't even have to buy Destiny 2, and they're just selling the whole package in Forsaken. But if you didn't buy Forsaken right now, you would have bought in a bunch of DLCs beforehand and been screwed over, and what a nightmare. I know there's a lot of bad things being said about AAA companies, and deservedly so, but Ubisoft is the least of the evils in my opinion, and I really believe that. I think that if they don't monetize the shit out of this game, I mean, really unrealistic to even expect that now, but Division 2 could be something great. Division 2 could be something great. I will be a loyal customer to this game if they do not screw it up. It's up to Ubisoft and Massive, but I didn't have much hopes for the first one, and it blew my expectations away. Let's hope they can do that again, because this is a pretty cool franchise. Unseasonably warm winter weather has surrounded us here in the Golden Horseshoe, and I, for one, cannot be more disappointed. There's nothing better than a big old-fashioned snowstorm to keep kids at home from school and to keep me from maybe once in a while going to work. But instead, as I walk around and enjoy the spring weather here in January, I wonder if this is a symptom of global warming or if Mother Nature's just taking it easy on us. One thing's for certain, the weather can stay like this all at once, but if it snows in May, I'm gonna be pissed. think it's safe to say, when it comes to my game reviews on Chad Hogan Live, I'm not always timely with them, am I? I wanted to change that today, so I bring you Absolver Downfall. How's that for a new Game Pass review? This is literally the newest game of January 2019, and to me, it kind of looks like a Fable-style adventure, but from what I'm told, it's more like a Dark Souls-style adventure, and you know how much I hate Dark Souls, so let's take a look as I lose my virginity, so to speak, to Absolver Downfall here on Game Pass. Okay, so here we have Absolver. Now, first and foremost, I'm quite disappointed we did not get a proper Fable game on the Xbox One, as I really love the franchise. However, games like Absolver stand out and kind of fill that gap. I'm glad this game came to Game Pass because it's something different. It's not just some shovelware from 3 years ago trying to find some funds and a buyer. This isn't just some crap game that's being shoved down our throats. This is a day-and-day release of a game on the game store as well as Game Pass. So here we go. This is the beginning of Absolver, and it very much reminds me of Fable, except the combat is actually intuitive. No offense, Fable. It feels like a beat 'em up kind of, not unlike, say, Yakuza or Sleeping Dogs. I'm just beating the shit out of everyone I see, and I think this is something I could really get into. The graphics are pretty good, and I'm only playing on the base Xbox One, or as I like to call it, the Dupe. I could only imagine what this game looks like in 4K. The environments are lush, and the graphics are kind of, well, not quite cel-shaded and not quite realistic. They fall somewhere pleasantly in between. This game, man, it just reminds me so much of Fable. What could have been? I guess it's all about Absolver and not Fable. I could totally see myself getting into this game, and this is exactly the kind of experience gamers absolutely deserve on Xbox One through Game Pass. If I'm gonna give Microsoft 10 or so bucks a month, $12 Canadian, if I'm gonna give Microsoft 12 bucks a month Canadian, I need more than games from 3 years ago. And this is actually pretty good. This is definitely something I could play. There's some story to it. I'm really not sure what the hell is going on, but I'm going with it. Everyone kind of has a unique look to them. Apparently, I might run into some people online too, and that once again reminds me of Fable, how you would run into people as you were journeying, although it was just their avatars. A little bit of Dark Souls, a little bit of Fable, and maybe even a little bit of Sleeping Dogs. This game is definitely something we could all sink our teeth into. Are you going to invest the time into it is probably the biggest concern, because when you're on a subscription, you're kind of on a time limit, and games like this request a lot of your time. Well, no pun intended, but time will tell. But I think I might just give this one a chance. Seacrest out. This isn't over, Master Chadworthy. Next time you will review Fallout 76.